Alrighty, and we're off. So, hello. This is now going to be part 6 of upgrading DrupalEasy to Drupal 9. Part 6. This is part 5. It's up on YouTube, and all the other parts are there as well. So let's pick up right where we left off last time. I'm not doing any work outside of these recordings, so hopefully you won't miss anything. So I just reran the scanner, and we are on, in this contributed projects section. So the notes, we're waiting for GDPR to be Drupal 9 ready. I don't know if that has progressed, so let's look at that real quick. And no commits or no releases since March, so nothing happening there. And then config split, we're waiting for a full release. So let's just check that one as well. Config split. Not the end of the world if we have to go to the release candidate, but I figured I'd wait. But yeah, okay. So there was, RC3 is still there. So we'll wait, and if we finish the rest of these and this doesn't have a 1.5 release, then we'll do the release candidate, but no rush on that. Okay, so that's all we had kind of left over from the previous time, and I think a lot of this when we looked at these errors, they were all in the test fixtures. Yep, so here, this is in tests. So again, it's deprecated functions being called, but they're in the test. So as long as we're not running the tests, we should be okay. So we'll just come and do it. So this is config split. This one we know is not ready yet. Contact storage. Those are both in the test directory, so we're not going to worry about those. No known errors. Field group. Let's see, form is depending on deprecated library. The core is library and is removed. Field, okay, I think didn't we look into this as field group? So now I have to, we don't need this window anymore. So where did we see that last time? Maybe we should make a note about this so we don't keep on looking up. Was it in here? Nothing here. All right, let me go back and look at this a little bit more closer. That was kind of fast. The formatter accordion library is depending on a deprecated library. The core jQuery UI accordion asset library is deprecated in Drupal 8.8 and is removed from Drupal 9. See, okay, maybe we should do what they say and see this. So what does that mean to us? And I think because we're not using the accordions, and move to contrib modules, download and install. I think now that I see all this, I think what we decided last time was because I know I'm not using any accordions with my field group, I wasn't going to worry about this. So let's not. Honeypot. I don't remember it having a 2.0 release last time we were here. But it looks like we can go ahead and upgrade this to the 2.0 version. So let's verify that. This is the first release in the 2.0 branch, meaning fully compatible with Drupal 9, switching over to semantic versioning, bug fixes, all minor, all things I like to hear. So let's go ahead and come over to here. Get into our container, then do a cd ... to get in this. So do that. So we're in the same directory as our composer.json. So composer update Drupal / honeypot, right? That was the right module. Drupal honeypot, do it. So that must be new. With dependencies. That must be new because I know last time we did Markdown stuff. And I'm not sure why Markdown was not checked because I thought we updated all that. Do I have a note about that? Oh, here we go, future tasks. Okay, so as soon as we're done with Honeypot, we will, oh, that's right. I made a change to Markdown. So we'll see if that issue has any motion, but We'll do one thing at a time here. Well, I guess while that's running, won't hurt. So let's check out this Markdown, because I think I changed one line or some silly little thing last time. So let's review that. Yeah, so I got an error when trying to export config. Yeah, there was a service difference, and no one has commented. Oh, the horror. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for the maintainer. I'm using 2.x dev version. When I try and do, I get the following error. So not, for some reason it wasn't checked, probably because I'm using a dev version, I'm guessing. There's still a lot of errors though. Oh, it does have a lot of deprecations. God, I feel like am I not using the latest version? All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this in a separate window. I don't know why it's not checked. Some of these are not checked, which kind of bums me out. So let's at least check those two in another window. All right, do we get it? Oh, you know, I'm so silly because I was going up a major version for Honeypot and I did not change my version constraint. So we'll do that. Change that to 2.0 of Honeypot. Try that again. Rookie mistake on my part. Sorry about that. All right, so while that's running and that's running, what would be next? A bunch of warnings in meta tag, although it's fully compatible. So I'm guessing these warnings are all in the tests, right? Oh, generate groups. So these are in commands. So these are all drush commands. Oh, but it's looking for Drupal console commands. So, okay. So I don't think I care about this. GraphQL, I'm not using that stuff. Meta tag views, I'm not using that stuff. So I don't think I'm going to worry about these. Pathologic, I'm rechecking. Okay, redirect. 3 errors, 4 warnings. Let's see what it says about the 1.6 version. Drupal 9 compatibility requires Drupal 8.8, which means we want to update redirect. Fantastic. Okay, so redirect we can do after Honeypot. Okay, so this, all right, so Honeypot should be done. Honeypot is done. Very good. So let's just do, I guess, a real quick test of Honeypot. Do I even have Honeypot enabled? Let's see where, there, Honeypot config. Protect all forms. I forget exactly. Yeah, there's the forms I'm protecting. Okay, so let's just save configuration, make sure that works. I'm not going to worry too much about testing this one because it said there weren't really a whole lot of code changes, just compatibility. So that looks good. So let's assume Honeypot is good. So let's go over to here, get status, get add composer.json, composer.lock, vendor, and web modules contrib, Honeypot. Get status, get commit dash m updated Honeypot to 2.0.0. Woo! All right, so that one's all set. So now let's get redirect going. Although I failed to do one thing. Let's just make sure. Yeah, no database updates for Honeypot. Just going to reload just to make sure. Yeah, still up to date. So we're good there. So let's go ahead and get redirect going. So we'll update redirect, and that's a minor update. So our version constraint is fine. So that should get us to 1.6. All right, so now let's do upgrade status, circle back to Markdown. So still not checked. I wonder if that's because I'm using a dev version. I'm a little bit concerned because I thought last time we had meta tag all figured out, but a lot of issues there. So let's go, I think I keep saying, do I keep saying meta tag instead of Markdown? I mean Markdown most of the time. All right, so the dev release, June 23rd, and I thought that's what I have installed, right?
Did you scan?
I did, I rescanned, yep. All right, well, let me finish up redirect here. Redirect. I'll do a quick little test here for, all right, let's do a drush CR. Oh, we're in the wrong place. I'm not in my web root, so let me just do it from here. Although, yeah, because it is not checked, these might be old. These might be old. So one way to tell is I can actually look at the code. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. We'll look at this PHP file, this line, and see if that's still there, because this might be an old report. Okay, caches cleared. Let's go to URL redirects. We still have redirects, so we can test. DCO is a redirect. So redirect appears to still be working. So we will assume that that's good. And we will commit that one. So git status, all the redirect stuff. Okay, compose.lock, vendor installed, and everything else, the redirect directory, so that's good. So let's just updated redirect to 8.x-1.6. All right, 2 down. So let's just copy this, updated redirect module. All right, so now, again, we're going to keep circling back to Markdown, but let's do it. Let's check this file and see if Drupal set message still exists. So this is the settings form. So if we go into modules, contrib, Markdown, src, form, settings form, and do a search for Drupal set. Oh, it's still there. So what happened? I thought we took care of this. All right, so let's go to Markdown. Let's go to the code base. Browse code repository, 8.x2. Let's see if that same thing is in here. Settings form, line 837. All right, so I don't think Markdown is compatible yet. I do not think so. So what made me think at some point that it was? No, it doesn't say anything here that it is. Where's info.yml? Yeah, it's still 8. I could have sworn that last time in the last part, I made some assumption about Drupal 9 and Markdown. Let's see. Markdown, Drupal 9 support. What does this say? Postponed. That's not great. This module correctly uses the core version record. Really? Oh, maybe because we didn't go up to 3.0.x-dev. Maybe we went to the wrong dev version. Maybe that's what the problem is. So if I go to info.yaml, oh, well, we cloned this last time, info. I think that's the issue. So if we go back, maybe we're just on the wrong dev version. Because my composer.json, I'm using 2.x. Maybe we actually need 3.x. So let's see. If we come back to the code repository on Drupal.org, switch this to 3. That's okay. This makes more sense. Info.yaml. It's still. I just don't think it's there yet. Didn't this say the module correctly uses the core version requirement key, which I don't think it does. I didn't see that. But the core requirement is not reflected in composer.json. Because of this, it is currently impossible to install. This will fail, blah, 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 blah. So this one person. So Wim came along. He's a smart person. So, all right. And then this was committed on the 2.x branch. All right. So then the maintainer Mark said, actually, now I thought about this, I'm going to remove D9 support from 8.x, 2.x entirely and leave it fully 8.x compatible. Drupal 9 will be the new 3.0. Okay. Can you open this branch? We continue there. I can't really work on this until this is an, okay. Yeah, we didn't see any of this last time, so. Anything I can do? Okay, so it seems like as of June 8th, it hasn't been made yet. I remember that. Okay, so it seems like Markdown is not ready after all. So we missed that somehow, but let's do this. I'm just gonna make a note of it. Markdown, not yet. Well, here, I'll just do the same thing I wrote here. Waiting for, so that's another blocker. And this one's pretty important for my site, at least. I use Markdown a lot. So this might block us from completing this upgrade at some point. It should postpone, but we could apply this patch and the patch in 18. If it comes down to it. Yeah, this gets rid of that Drupal set message. So this gets rid of some of the deprecations as well as the patch in 18. And that just adds core version requirements. So worst case, there are 2 patches to apply to get it D9 compatible. But since we're not done with everything else yet, I'm willing to wait. Okay, so I'm gonna make this Markdown module Drupal 9 readiness review. Okay, so that's something else we did. All right, let's move on because that was getting deep. All right, meta tag, Pathologic. Not checked. I think the issue with Pathologic is I think I'm using like a dev version of Pathologic still. So if we go back to composer.json, I am. I'm using 1.x-dev, and let's talk about Pathologic for a moment. Now let's open up a window, DP. I'm not even 100% sure I still need this module. Yeah, so it's an input filter, so it works on text formats, which can correct paths and links and images in Drupal content. So there's an alpha 2, released not too long ago, that's Drupal 9 compatible. All right, so first of all, let's see, am I actually using this somewhere? So there's the configuration. So what does this do? This makes sure, what does this do? Text formats. Right, okay, full URL, all base paths. Okay, I think that's fine, just like that. All right, so the big question is, am I using the Pathologic? So I use this one. Shouldn't I see Pathologic?
I saw it correct. Yeah, there it is.
Correct. Okay, so I'm not using it with basic HTML. So let me just open all of these. And I'm not using it on that last one, but I'm not using it there. I am using it. Okay, so I'm using it with the legacy. That makes sense because I know I was using it in Drupal 7. I am using it with Markdown. So this is the one I use all the time. Okay, so restricted HTML, I'm not using it. Full HTML, I am not using. Okay, but I'm using it enough. Let's just put it that way. So I do want it working. So let's just, since I'm not going to be ready to go to Drupal 9 today, I'm going to go ahead and go to this alpha 2. Which means I want to come over here and do a 1.0 at alpha. So you can see the pattern here. So I'm going to change the version constraints to allow alphas. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to do Pathologic. And hopefully this will give me, unless I made a mistake, this will give me the alpha 2 version. So whenever I see alpha versions, I'm always curious what's the cadence? Like how soon after alpha 1 was there alpha 2? Was it a year or was it, a couple of weeks? So view all releases. So about 2 months, May 1st or July 1st. So that's not terrible. It's better than most, we'll say. And that's still churning away. The requested package exists as Drupal, Pathologic, but these are 1.0 alpha 1. Why is that? Requested package exists as all right, well, I guess I have to just do exactly that. I don't know why this alpha should work. Oh, you know why? Because I don't have the caret in front of it. Bink. There we go. I was missing the caret. Without the caret, it's looking for exactly some version called 1.0 at alpha, which doesn't exist. With the caret, it's going to basically look for the latest alpha in the 1.x branch, whatever that is, which is going to end up being this one. So that caret is quite important, and by missing it, we got that error. So those of you who have taken the Composer, good, we're getting it, Alpha 2. Those of you that have taken the Composer Basics class with me, I recently added a whole new section. And I'll show it to you real quick, and it's on the recording. So it's a little bit of an ad as well for the Composer Basics workshop, which is coming up. Composer Basics. So this was a request I had to add this. I forget who requested it. I actually have added 2 sections. I added a plugin section, which is a lot like the blog post I wrote not too long ago. You know, where useful Composer plugins for Drupal projects, where I list them all. And the one I just finished up yesterday was I did a command overview. So I broke it up into commands previously covered in the document. And then I actually went through the rest of the Composer commands that aren't covered in the document, just as a little, you know, kind of a quick review area. So anyway, if you took the class, you have access to this. If not, maybe you should take the class. Just saying. All right, updating, update failed. Do we want to try? Yes, okay. So that's because we had a dev version with a missing .git directory, but that's fine. So we're getting the alpha version. It looks like it's just about done. So if you recall, I'm using, where is it? Am I using it? I should be top floor. There it is. Top floor Composer Cleanup VCS directories. This automatically deletes .git directories from clone dependencies, which you need to do when you commit dependencies to your repo, like I do. Okay, so Pathologic has been updated. So let's first go to status report, because I do want to test this one a little bit. So this is going to be like a little bit of a lesson on Pathologic module, but that's fine. As well as a reminder to me as to what exactly it's doing. Okay, so no database update, no red flag saying Pathologic is broken and can never be fixed. So whenever I update a module, I always like to, if it has a configuration page, just resubmit the configuration, make sure that still works, and that does. So this will basically, I think if I put like a relative path in a body field, it will automatically convert it to an absolute path. And the reason I like to do that is because when the content is shared on an RSS feed, it needs to have an absolute path, a full path. So if we go to content, add content, blog entry, and I do, you know, test, and if I spell it right, test for Pathologic, and I do, it doesn't matter here, and I switch this to, was full HTML using it? I think it was, right? Let's say full HTML was using it.
Markdown.
Well, I know Markdown was, but I want to use an HTML, I want to use a WYSIWYG one. So if I add an image, and let me go to my images off screen here. Where are all my Batman images? There they are. This is a very serious looking Batman right here. Action figure. Okay, so if I don't do anything, and I'm on my local, so I don't care, I'll just publish it. Okay, so if I don't do anything, and I inspect the element, it's using, oh, it is relative there. So maybe it's full HTML. Now I forget if full HTML was using this or not.
I only saw Markdown and Legacy.
You are correct. Okay. I thought I saw, all right, well, let's switch it to legacy. I guess, can I do it in Markdown? I guess so. I guess I can switch it over. Okay, so here is the path to that image. All right, and notice it's relative. So I believe if I'm using this text format, Pathologic is going to, oops. Yeah, because it's using the Pathologic filter, Pathologic will change the path to be absolute. So let's find out if I know what I'm talking about. Well, something changed, so, but that's just the alignment. But let's see if the image is now absolute, which it is. It's now absolute. So there, it's working. That's what it does. I don't know why image action date of align. Oh, well, so Markdown. Okay, so the Markdown filter, the Markdown text format, if we go back to that, here's why the alignment isn't working. Markdown. Because I am not using that one. If I add that filter, and I don't even have to save this, I can just basically reload this or view it. Yeah, when you view it and reload, now it's all aligned and it's a solid picture of Batman, isn't it? And it is absolute, even though we originally entered it as relative. So there you go. So Pathologic looks like it's working. So let's go ahead and mark that one as done and commit it. Updated Pathologic module to Drupal 9 compatible version. And we'll come over here and do a git status and all the usual suspects, Pathologic, Pathlin. Oh, it has tests now. Didn't have tests before, so that's always good. That speaks to the maturity of a module once it gets tests. And what version was this? What version was it? Okay. 1.0 alpha 2. So it's funny that the 1.0 alpha version of the module, the 8.x 1.0 alpha 2 version of the module is Drupal 9 compatible. So it will, this module will probably not have a Drupal 8 official release until it's compatible with Drupal 9. Okay, let's see, what time is it? We got 12 minutes. Let's see if we can sneak another one in. So close up some of this stuff. Come back over here. Redirect we did. Responsive favicons, up to date, but that's a problem. The deprecated constants, blah, 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 blah. It's up to date. So let's hope that there is some type of dev version or something. So I think it's 2 words. Responsive favicons. Okay, maybe it's 1 word. Maybe I don't know what it is.
Take Pathologic out of your path.
Oh, is that what the problem was? Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, Matt. Okay, responsive favicons. All right, so 8.x 1.5 is the latest, and that's probably what I'm using since upgrade status told me I was up to date. I'm using 1.4. Oh, no, I have 1.5. My constraint is 1.4, but I am using 1.5. Okay. Dev version was released a month and a half ago. So that gives me a glimmer of hope. Drupal 9 deprecate. Okay, so was this committed? This would be great. Remove the following issues to make the module Drupal 9 compatible. Patch is welcome. Here's the patch. Thanks so much. Drupal South Code Sprint. This is all last year. Let's get to the push this. We'll get TAD release. Okay, so May 24th, TAD release out soon. Installed the dev version on Drupal 9. Looks like it works. Okay, so let's take part in this as well. So I'm gonna make a note first. Future tasks. If dev version of responsive favicons is working well, then comment here. So we won't do that until, I do some testing. But that's basically is just telling us that we need the dev version from May 23rd. So let's get that. So we come over here, responsive favicons, and we got another, let's see, where is the, yeah, here's the pattern we want to use. And it was a 1.x, right? 1.x. All right, so we change our version constraint, saying we're allowing dev versions on the 1.x branch. And then we let Composer handle the rest. And since this is a dev version, it will clone, not download the repository. And when it clones, we end up with a .git directory. But going back to what we talked about before, this top floor dependency will automatically delete that .git directory, which is necessary since I commit dependencies to the repo for this project. So if you aren't using this and you do have a dev version, you're going to want to go in and manually delete the .git directory from the responsive favicons directory. Okay, so we see what happened. So removed 1.5, installed the dev version, cloning as we said, but here comes top floor dependency, deleting that .git directory. All right, so it has been updated. So let's come back over here to status report. What am I thinking? And let me just do a reload just in case. Okay, so nothing involving responsive favicons here. And I actually forget what exactly this module was. It. Let's see. So I generated favicons for DrupalEasy.com from here. And then this basically allows me to paste some HTML from this and upload a zip file, and then it does something. I guess it must put it in my files directory somewhere. So I wonder if I actually need this module enabled to make the site work. I think once I upgrade them, do I even need it? This might be one of those modules, like a one-time use module. Oh no, I guess I need these. So yeah, so these are the tags. Paste the code, save, yeah. So I don't have a zip file right now. I think it's fine. I don't know if I actually need to leave this module enabled. Path to responsive, yeah, so I think it takes this. Well, it definitely takes the zip file I provide and it stores all of the favicons, the different sizes and different versions in here in my files directory. I actually think it does need this. I think I do need to leave the module enabled because then this gets injected into the header of the head section of every page on the site. And we can kind of confirm that. So we're looking for, look at that, MS application. This is like an IE color, mask, all kinds of stuff. And actually you can see, like I'm using Safari and it's clearly not the DrupalEasy logo. So maybe I do need to redo this. That's a project for another day though. So if I come to inspect element and I look in my head, Responsive Favicon, yeah, there they are. Yeah, here's from here to there. So it's, the path is slightly different. So I think I do need to leave this enabled so that that gets injected in the right place. But this looks like it's being injected. Although my favicon isn't working, but this hasn't been working. It's even a live site. The favicon's not working. So I don't know if this is Safari. I probably just need to update my favicon. So maybe I'll do that offline, but that's not an issue for Drupal 9. I think we are ready for Drupal 9 for this. So updated responsive favicons to Drupal 9 compatible dev version. All right, so let's get this all get-tastic, if you know what I mean. Yep. And this is going to be a dev 1.x.
You need to add first.
Yeah, you know everything, don't you, Matt? There we go. I know Git. See? Appreciate it, Matt. Okay, so there, that's
Mike, you're the best.
Oh, see, and it's, you even did that on the recording, Marvin. That is, I appreciate that. I need that. Okay, so what do we got? We got 3 minutes till I was going to stop, so why not? Let's just go to, I forget what's involved in this real favicon generate. Like, do I just need to give it one, submit an image? Let me try this. Okay, I have images. Where am I going? Dropbox, I've got DrupalEasy, I've got a big, where's my logo? I've got a DrupalEasy ball, large ball, PNG. Let's see how that works. For real. Okay, good, good. Use the image as is, add more. No, I think I like all this. iOS will fill in the transparent regions with black. No, I think that's fine. Okay, okay, good. All right. Is it just this easy? Hold on, what was, if I go back? Yeah, so this is the HTML. I'm just gonna try, let me try this again. Maybe it'll fix my favicon. So that didn't look like it changed anything. I'm gonna download my favicon. So this should be the zip file. And sure enough, well, it's not, let's see, Mac OS automatically unzipped it. So I'm gonna rezip, I know you can't, I'm on my other screen. I'm gonna rezip it, compress it. You probably heard it. I'm gonna drag it over and save configuration. Contents cannot be empty. The specified file due to the destination directory is not properly configured. Do I not have a favicons directory? Oh, maybe that's the problem on my local. That's actually probably the whole issue on my local is I don't have a favicons directory. So again, I'm off on my other screen here. I'm looking at web sites, default. I do not have a favic or files directory. I do have favicons, and I have stuff in there. The destination directory is not, could be a problem with file or directory permissions. Okay, so let's, although it does say that it worked. What is going on? All right, let's check permissions first of all. ls-al websites default files. There's my favicons directory. Writable by just about everybody. But actually, let's check inside the container. ls-al websites default files. Again, so it's writable by group and owner, and that is the same as, although, let's see. Files is writable by everybody. I wonder if I need to loosen that up. Let's try it. So chmod all plus write web sites default files favicons. Okay. All right, now it's writable by everybody. I don't think it's going to matter because all these other ones are not writable by everybody, and I haven't seen any other issues. So something tells me this is not the problem, but whatever, we'll try it again. Yeah, I get the same thing. File name cannot be empty.
Do you have your temporary path set?
Yeah, I'm sure I do, but that's that would be embarrassing if I don't, wouldn't it? Yeah, well, it would be giving me an error here if I didn't. So private is fine, private read. Okay, yeah, no, so that's not the issue. So here's what I'm going to try. I'm actually going to, I'm going to delete, and again, it's off screen here. I'm going to delete my favicons directory. Actually, I'm going to drag it to my desktop. All right, so I just dragged my favicon directory to my desktop. Let's see if it gets recreated when I do this. It does. With different permissions, but is it empty? It appears to be empty, right? It's definitely empty. So it uploaded them, but it didn't save them. Maybe I need to, hold on. Let me compress not the directory, but all the files inside the directory. All right, so let me try this one more time. No. Still empty. Oh, it actually, oh, this is actually a file. It's not even a directory. Quarantine. This seems like a security thing. This seems like some weird security thing. All right, so I'm going to manually create the mkdir sites, web sites, default files, favicons, plural, right? Okay, now it's definitely a directory. Let's try this again. Man, I've fallen into a rabbit hole. Okay, fewer errors. But the files are there. There they are. So now that they're there, if I do a flush all caches, does it work now? Doesn't work. This could be like a browser cache issue as well. So all right, I'm not gonna, I think the module is fine. I'm not gonna pursue this any further. Let's wrap this up. We committed this, right? If I do a git status, all right, we're committed. The only thing I haven't done yet then is let's check, see if any config has changed. And then we'll call it a day. Honeypot and okay, Markdown, I don't care about this one. This is just me enabling Pathologic, but Honeypot did have a little bit of a config change. It basically added web form, node, web form. Oh, webinar. Okay. Yeah. So it added web form, what makes sense because I didn't have web form before. So let's go ahead and let's do I'll just do it from here to be consistent. A ddev.drush-cex-y. But I'm going to throw out this Markdown one. Well, here, if I just do a git status, you'll see what I'm going to do. Git checkout config filter dot star. So I'm going to throw out this change because that's a configuration change I made while we were testing Pathologic. Git add config / honeypot, git status, git commit -m updated honeypot config from updated module version. It's actually not even that. It's because of web form. I added web form. So I'm just going to leave a hard stop there. Git status, git push origin Drupal 9. Is it origin? I'm not even sure. Maybe I call it Pantheon. All right, so we moved the ball forward a little bit in the last 45 minutes or so. Got some modules updated, realized Markdown still needs some work to do, although I think we have a path forward with Markdown if need be, just like we have a path forward with config split. So as of right now, really our hard blocker is GDPR. So I'll basically have to decide if I want to move to Drupal 9 and leave that behind for now. Other than that, I think we're, chugging along. We're on the R's. So before I wrap up, let's just make sure we're clean here. Let's just take a look at, yeah, I can just import that just to get it back to where it was. All right, so what do we have left? We have simple XML sitemap, which looks like it's compatible. We got some errors in SMTP, but I'm on a beta there, so maybe we'll take care of that. Stage file proxy is good. Token is good. Views reference field, looks like that's good. Wow. Web form is tagging a 6.0 release. They're on alpha 10, so maybe that's okay. And bootstrap. So this is my base theme, but I think I saw somewhere that this might be okay, but I don't want to fall in that rabbit hole. So I think hopefully next time we will be able to get through the rest of these. And then after that, bootstrap. And then maybe after that, just one more kind of wrap up and then launch of the Drupal 9 site. All right, any questions from the those of you who are still hanging out? Questions, comments, nitpicks? Oh, why is this not? Active page Markdown then. I'm not gonna worry about it. Well, actually, I probably should worry about it. Let me just come over here real quick. I would like that to be clean. where am I going? Content authoring, text formats, HTML Markdown. Oh, this had already been. Was this selected before or no?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Oh, all right. So I don't know what this config. Maybe I do need this config change then. No, shoot. Urgh. Synchronize. Maybe I was too quick on the draw there. Filter format, full HTML Markdown. So that means if I do that's going to be removed. Yeah, I don't know if I need that. All right, well, we're going to punt on that because we still have work to do on Markdown, so I'm not going to worry about that today. I'm going to end the recording. I'll see everybody next time.
All right.